All right, so I'm here with your SummerSlam 2018 review. So before I start and get into this review, the show was 4 hours long. Way too long. Nobody has the attention span to watch something like that. And if you add on the pre-show, which I believe was 2 hours long, 6 hours of wrestling. Plus you got Raw tonight, you got SmackDown, you had NXT on Saturday. Nobody has the energy to watch all that shit. I know I don't. I hardly had the energy to make it through this SummerSlam. I also didn't watch the Hardy Nakamura or the Corbin Balor match. I watched most of the matches. Give me credit, guys. I watch a lot of shit. So, another problem I had is there was no gimmick matches. There was no DQ matches, no TLC, nothing like that. They were all just common fucking matches. It's SummerSlam. You got to throw on a 4-hour show. Throw some variety in there. I'm not asking for like a CZW type shit. But like 1 or 2 matches here and there, no DQ or falls count anywhere, last man standing, something to spice things up a little bit. So let me get into the show. We got Rollins defeating Ziggler to start off the show. It started off pretty slow. I thought the crowd wasn't really that into it. There was actually a pretty bad botch, I thought, where like Rollins was going to do a suplex or some shit, but he went over the top rope. It looked kind of dangerous. I'm pretty sure that was a botch. I don't know. It didn't look good though. But it actually, as the match went along, it picked up pace. There was some cool moves. There was like an inverted suplex off the top rope, an apron DDT there, I think by Ziggler. Some good counters and good wrestling there at the end. So it was not a great match because, like I said, the start was pretty boring, but a very good match. And see what happens, creative team, when you take 2 good wrestlers and give them like 20, 25 minutes to wrestle and not 5 minutes like they do on Raw most of the time. Hey, it's a good match. It's not a shitty 5-minute match. This was a very good match. So good way to start off the show here. Then we have the Bludgeoning Brothers and the New Day ending in a disqualification. I was surprised because like 99% of tag matches in this company are very slow, same format, rest holds galore. But this was actually fast paced. It was good wrestling, a lot of action going on. I don't think it was that long of a match, but they crammed some good shit into there. Like I said, it's not like there was 10 rest holds in this match like there usually are in tag matches, so it was good. The only problem I had about it was it ended in a disqualification. It's SummerSlam. This is where all feuds are supposed to climax. So to end a match in a disqualification on a pay-per-view, which I'm paying for, I don't like it. I want a definitive ending. Pick one team and put them over. So what happens when you end a match in disqualification in this fashion too? It makes your tag team champions look weak. It makes it look like they can't beat the New Day legitimately. So why didn't you just put them over? Why don't you make your tag team champions look strong, and that increases the worth of those titles? But no, we can't do that. But like I said, good wrestling. Then we have Strowman defeating Kevin Owens. Like I said, this is the pay-per-view where feuds are climaxing. These two people have been feuding now for a few months, and to have it end in a 2-minute squash match it's a disgrace. Kevin Owens is a good wrestler. He's been champion, WWE champion or Universal champion, whatever you want to call it. I still like to call it the WWE title, but he's been WWE title. He's been a solid mid-carder for the last few years. And to squash him like this in 2 minutes, it's stupid. It's dumb. And I didn't like it. I would have preferred at least make Kevin Owens look good in a loss. You could make somebody look good and still have him lose, but to lose in 2 minutes, it's just stupid. And I didn't like it. It's not a pay-per-view. This is not a pay-per-view quality match here. And it makes him look bad. So, no, this was a terrible match. Then we had Charlotte defeating Becky and Carmella. It was a good match. It was fast-paced. It was a triple threat match, so it was... So that I always like triple threat and fatal four-way matches because they tend to be fast-paced. There's usually no rest holds. And I like this. I didn't think it was great, but it was definitely a good fucking match here. Then at the end, Becky Lynch turns heel. So, by the way, Charlotte has really nice tits. I don't know if they're fake or not, but they just look very good in this match. I gotta say that. I gotta add that in there, by the way. I didn't write that in my notes, but I made sure to remember that because They looked nice. Then we had Samoa Joe and AJ Styles ending in a disqualification. It was a good match. I thought it was slow at times, but it still ended up being a good match. I like how they invoked AJ Styles' family into this feud. It made it feel like more real and better than most feuds are. I mean, most feuds are usually like, oh, I'm going to kick your butt at SummerSlam. Well, no, I'm going to kick your butt. No, I mean, this was actually a good feud. They invoked the family, which made it feel more real. Samoa Joe gets up on the table at one point and even says to Styles' wife that I'm going to, your daddy's not coming home and I'm going to be your daddy. So this would have been the perfect match to make a no disqualification match. I mean, there's bad blood between the two. Make it a no DQ or TLC or a street fight match. Instead, it ends in a disqualification. Again, I am not happy about this. I want a definitive ending. Pick one guy and put them the fuck over. So, I was not happy about the DQ ending. I thought it was a good match, though. There was a good, right after Samoa Joe talks to AJ Styles' wife, like Styles speared him off the table through the barricade, so that was a cool spot. So, good match, not a good ending, though. Then we have Miz defeating Daniel Bryan. I thought this was a mediocre match. It was pretty long, I thought, and just not a lot of action. Kind of slow, not a lot of action, not a lot of good moves. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I'd give it like 2 out of 5 stars, but it was definitely just not good. I mean, I expected better. Maybe I was just worn out by this time because, like I said, it was a long-ass pay-per-view, and this was a long-ass match, and the show was about 70% over by this point, but this match just didn't do it for me. Then we have Ronda Rousey defeating Alexa Bliss. So this was basically another squash match, which again, I have a problem with because you have Alexa Bliss, who they've put a lot of faith into. She's been champion a lot of times. She's a talented wrestler. She's she's high up on the totem pole in the divas division. And then you just squash her like this. It's dumb. I mean, at least make her look better than this. At least give her some action. At least give her some time in this match where she's on top. But instead you squash her in 5 minutes. Like, it just really makes Alexa Bliss now look like she sucks. In the way Ronda Rousey won the belt, I mean, they could have put her through a longer time period. I mean, she's had 3 matches and she's already champion? I mean, it's like she faced no adversity. She just won the belt just like that. I think she's very talented. She brings a lot of uniqueness to this division. Her style of wrestling is something I haven't seen before. I mean, like you could say Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss and, those people are good wrestlers or good technical wrestlers, but Ronda Rousey brings a new element of just she's badass. She's legitimately badass. She's a good wrestler. She throws people around. She's like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a legitimate badass. He brings at least he used to bring an element of like just a different style of wrestling, just as opposed to just technical wrestling. I mean, so she's very good in that sense. But I thought the way she got the belt was just dumb. I mean, they should have put her through a more drawn out storyline than just this. I thought, she's been in the company now for 5 or 6 months, and she's already champion without any, adversity or whatever. I think she's wrestled 3 or 4 matches, and that's it. And like I said, at the same time, it made Alexa Bliss look good. But I'm happy that they have Ronda in the company. Like I said, she's unique, she's good, and she's talented. And I find her quite attractive, by the way. I mean, she's way more attractive than somebody like a Nikki Bella with fake fucking tits and always looking like a slut. I mean, there's just something about Ronda Rousey that's attractive. And then, of course, the Bellas are still lingering around this call. I thought they were done. I thought they retired. But no. Watch our show, Total Bellas and Total Divas and all this fucking... I mean, they got like 10 shows now dedicated to wrestlers' personal lives. I don't give a shit. God. And then they have to get into the ring and celebrate with Ronda Rousey. And of course, the second they get into the ring, everybody's booing them because they suck. They couldn't just let Ronda Rousey have her moment by herself. They got to put Nikki Bella and Brie Bella into there. I mean, fuck. So the match was just, the match was still like 5 minutes long. I mean, I expect a longer match for a championship match too. I mean, it was an alright match, but like I said, it could have been longer, and it could have made Alexa Bliss look better. So then we have the main event here. Roman Reigns defeats Lesnar. So Braun Strowman comes out, and he says he's going to cash in, which I was excited about, but he never did. So the match, however, was a shitty, short match. I mean, is this what the Universal or WWE title is, which I prefer to call it, the WWE title, has been reduced to now? Fucking a champion who shows up like once every 3 months to defend his belt. A champion who's hardly on Raw. He's been champ for 500 days, I think. And like I said, he hardly shows up. And when he does show up, it's like a 5-minute match. It's with 3 fucking moves in it. Oh, spear, F5, spear, guillotine. That's about it. I mean, is this what the championship has been reduced to now? I mean, it's a disgrace to the belt. I mean, you got all these wrestlers wrestling pretty good matches on this show, like Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler, You had some good shit on the show, wrestling-wise. And then you got a 5-minute Universal title match. I mean, it just makes me want to throw up. I mean, it was the same shit as the previous matches, a couple spears, a couple Superman punches, and that's about it. So Reigns wins. What do I think about this? I think this is dumb, because every time they've given Reigns the belt, it's ended in failure. Did he get a few more cheers than he usually gets? Yeah. I think that's largely in part that nobody likes Brock Lesnar anymore. And it's funny that they take... nobody likes Brock Lesnar. His title reign was a disaster. And it's funny that they're actually admitting this in storyline now. They're using the fact that Brock Lesnar being a part-timer and that nobody likes him being champion because he is a part-timer. They use that as a storyline to try to get Roman Reigns a few more cheers. But still, he didn't get a lot of cheers. I mean, they were chanting during the middle of the match, "You both suck," pretty loudly. So I don't think a lot of people like him. And yeah, this was just not a good match. Like I said, 5 fucking minutes. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, if you look at the champions that they've had like the last few years, like Goldberg and Triple H and Brock Lesnar, like the amount of part-time champions they've had, it's just a disgrace. It's terrible. The champion should be there every fucking week. Not every fucking once every 3 months. Every fucking week. So instead of giving it to somebody the crowd actually likes, they give it to Roman Reigns again. It's just... what more do I gotta say? I've ranted on this guy so much the past few years. He's not good. And he's not championship material. And like I said, I just think he's getting a few more cheers now because nobody likes Brock Lesnar. Every time they've given him the belt, it's been a failure. And I know there's still people trying to defend him on Bleacher Report and other websites. But I think the majority of the universe doesn't like him, and that's reflective of the ratings. The ratings are the lowest that they've ever been in a long ass time, in decades. I mean, they just had the lowest rated Raw in a long ass time a month ago. Is Roman Reigns the only reason? No, but I think he's a big reason because he's been the guy who's been the most pushed these last few years. So overall, you had a few good matches. So I can't call this a bad show. I thought the creative team, though, who we all know is incompetent, with not scheduling any gimmick matches, no TLC or street fight matches, some no DQ endings, making people like Kevin Owens and Alexa Bliss look like shit. Those were bad creative decisions. Putting the belt on Brock Lesnar for 500 days straight and he hardly shows up. Terrible creative decision. But there was some good wrestling, so it was an alright show. Like I said, I skipped 2 matches. It was too long, too. That's another creative blunder there. So it was an alright show. I guess a mixed bag, if you want to say. There was some shit. There was some good shit. Whatever. But yeah, so there you go, people. There's my thoughts on SummerSlam.